Thanks for checking in to find out what you should check out this month on Shorties.
I don't remember how we start Shorties out, so I'm just going to sit here and talk.
Well, you started it last time. I figured I'd just give you the floor.
Let's get shorty.
Let's get shorty.
Yeah. I just wanted to do a physical
Well,
joke.
before it gets too far in, go ahead and...
Before it gets too physical.
Yeah, but go ahead and welcome everybody.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bombs Away Podcast. This is our Shorties episode taking place in the month of May. Because I have a calendar and I know how to read it. Joining me in the studio, as always, is...
I'm Jonathan Young, and I'm exactly the title of this episode, which is Shorty.
Also, I'm Jarrett. Sorry, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Jarrett Seifert.
Yeah. No, well, that's normally me forgetting it.
Yeah.
Wow, what a month we have coming up here. We have
coming up all over our chest.
Right? We have May the 4th, we have Mother's Day, and then we have a whole bunch of guests as well on this show.
Believe it or not.
I'm walking on air.
I thought you were saying, I'm coming out.
Believe it or not, I'm coming out.
I want the world to know.
Right. But before we get into that, there's a couple things that I want to touch on that are happening in the news and things like that.
You're mad.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Well, I'm not mad. It doesn't affect me yet.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because you're like grandfathered in.
Right.
Anyway, let's talk about it.
Okay.
So, MoviePass. Right off the bat, I'm going to say this. I don't have one because I don't go to see movies in theaters because I can't do anything alone, like in public, besides go to a Target. That's about it. That's all I can do.
I need a designated driver with me.
I need to have friends because like social anxiety is so much to where it's like, if they see me in a movie alone, they're going to think I'm a loser, and then I'm going to be the loser of their life for the rest of it. It's
I
not
have
that deep.
been
It's really
the
not that
loser.
deep. I know. That's why I'm like, get over it, you,
right?
Me. So I don't have a MoviePass.
Okay.
No.
So we're going to talk about MoviePass. We're going to talk about the news of that. And then that's going to go into... Basically, here's what we're going to talk about before we go into what our movies for the month of May are. MoviePass, and then what have you seen lately and what could you recommend?
Oh, yeah.
Due to MoviePass for me.
Yeah.
So...
Well, we'll start with MoviePass.
Okay. So for those of you who aren't aware, MoviePass has recently... changed their deal. So the original deal was for $9.99 a month. You could see one movie per day each month.
Which I already was like, that's excessive, but that's a deal. I don't see movies, and I was considering buying it because of it.
Because one film here, not Matinee, right, is $12, $13.
I would say most movies are.
Yeah. So... the MoviePass alone was a steal in itself because for $9.99 you were paying less than even one film if you went to, a Friday or Saturday night. Yeah. That was another thing. There were no limitations. There was no first run movies are excluded, or anything like that. There was no limitations. It basically acted like a credit card. They actually send you a credit card in the mail, and you used the app. For anybody who's unfamiliar and you did not get on the bandwagon, you have an app, and you go to your closest theater. You have to be within 100 meters of the theater because apparently we're English. And you basically selected the theater you wanted to, then you selected the movie, then the movie time, you hit purchase, and then the app knew exactly the price for that film at that theater at that time and would send that exact amount to the credit card that MoviePass would send you. So it was like a PayPal credit card in a way, right? Now, with that, see, because we're about to talk about two different problems that people are complaining. Three problems, actually, that people are complaining about that all kind of got just thrown at us this week.
So first is the price.
The price. Okay. So like we said, originally it was $9.99 unlimited. Now they're offering $9.99 for one movie a week, right? And trying to throw in iHeartRadio for free for us too, like we care. Like,
well, now
it's
also,
MoviePass, not Radio Pass.
But also now,
plus radio's free.
You have to take a photo of your ticket stub?
That's number 2. Okay? So with the fact that it is indeed just money on a credit card in reality, fraud can happen, right? So I understand this one. Basically, without my friend took and was like, I'm going to be at this theater and I'm going to check into whatever, right? And then use that same credit card and then just decided to buy concessions instead with it. He racked up exactly $10 in concessions even and then just swiped it and it cashed out because it is just a credit card.
Yeah.
And if the money's there, it's going to happen, right? So a lot of people were saying, okay, I'm going to go see Avengers, but I want to see it in 3D, so that was another thing. That was one limitation from the beginning, only 2D films, right? No 3D, no IMAX, no special, 4D boxes
flat
or
films.
Anything like that. Flat films, right? Which is great. I love flat films most.
Yeah.
So people would be like, oh, I'm going to go and say, I'm going to go see Infinity War, but I want to see it in 3D, so I'll choose the 2D screening on the app. It'll give me the $10, and then I'll just go and order at the box office what I want and then pay the $3 difference. That was a no-go in their eyes, too.
Yeah.
And I can see why. So now they're requiring you to take a picture of your ticket stub to verify that what you ordered at the box office is what you order on the app.
But can't you still just do the same exact thing and send them a picture of the ticket stub?
How are you going to get a ticket stub for a movie that isn't that if you didn't order that?
Well, you'll get a ticket stub regardless, right?
Or no, for example, like the same friend wanted to go to the MSTK3 thing that we did for Halloween and bought, I don't know, Blade Runner that was out that night, but then just walked into some but ordered MSTK instead.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, I get it now.
So because of that kind of fraud, there's ways to get around it, and they just want to verify, because basically for them they were trying to track what we were seeing, when we were seeing it, stuff like that, and they were getting inaccurate readings. So they're like,
but now they're putting it on the user, which is obnoxious.
Right. It is obnoxious. But how else were they supposed to really
now build a better system? Well,
the system that they do have in place, but a lot of the problem is that a lot of theaters, and we're going to get into this too, is a lot of theaters don't want to get on the bandwagon. Now, there were a bunch of theaters that would get on the bandwagon and had the ability to select seating and have digital codes right into the app.
Yeah.
And then that was foolproof, right?
Well, to me, it's like you're not spending money on a ticket, but now you're going to spend that money on concessions.
Exactly.
That's a bonus for the theater.
And
concessions are where they make their money.
I'm glad you made that point, because that's what I want to go into. And the final thing was now, and maybe there was a picture that got sent to me that basically had this readout. Now, the readout said, in the app itself, there was a screenshot that somebody sent to me, which was terms of use update, it said, right?
Yeah.
Friendly update that MoviePass subscribers are not permitted to see the same movie more than once in theaters and can only use this device per MoviePass account. Only use one device per MoviePass account. This is reflected in our terms of use, which can be found in the link below. So, a lot of people in the past 24 hours have tried to see Infinity War more than once and are not being allowed to. Now, I was never fortunate enough to be like, oh, I want to see a repeat movie, so I don't know if this has always been in the terms of use, and it's just now being... But I feel like we would have heard about it by now.
Yeah.
I think they changed it overnight without telling us, and updated their terms of use without alerting us. So there's a big problems here, right? And my thing about it is that it goes back to what you said, is that like everybody get your shit together when it comes to MoviePass, because it's a good idea, right? What this comes down to me, in my opinion, is greed from the movie studios. right?
Yeah.
And the movie studios and the theaters. And what they don't realize is, I think if MoviePass was able to, I don't know, make some sort of loyalty program or make us show, I don't know, like show that we can, that MoviePass people spend more on concessions than a non-MoviePass person, maybe the theaters would get involved more, or, but, you know, to basically, like, statistically, a MoviePass person immediately goes to the box office, because I know I do. I know that now that I don't have to spend it on the ticket. Usually I would go to the box office and be like, God, fucking $13 for a ticket? All right, cool. I'm just going to go right into the theater. You know, I'll have a water, please.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I'll sneak in my own shit.
Right? Now,
I'll get real messed up before I go to the movie and pray that I look normal walking in. That's me always. I'm like, well, I'll get drunk beforehand.
Right?
I hope no one sees.
Now I'm at least getting a medium soda popcorn combo, and I don't even like popcorn that much.
I love soda popcorn.
Delicious buttery soda.
Buttery smooth.
Right.
Gross.
So I guess that's my thing. Now, and you're not a user, but if you had to say, like, what are some possible solutions going forward? Like, could there be multiple price plans like Netflix? Because I do Netflix $13.99 for 4K.
Yeah,
you know?
So I do $13.99 because my mom accidentally went into my account and updated it. She said, "Oh, it just said, did you want to update?" So I clicked yes. And I'm like, okay, well, you clicked yes on my bill, so thanks a lot.
Enjoy that beautiful 4K.
I know, but now it's like we can have more people on it, whatever. And it is nice, especially whenever I Google shoot it to my TV or whatever I do.
Oh, you Google shoot.
Yeah. I go, Google shoot! And it goes, and it comes on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh!
Nice.
That was an accidental pun. That's why I came right there. No, I don't know. It seems like it would have to be I think if theaters did their own version of MoviePass, it would work a little bit better. What is it, like Regal
But it's very
Cinema?
similar to, I know Cinemark is doing it, but it's very similar to what MoviePass is now launching now, where it's like one a week. Yeah. Right? So, in my opinion,
not as bad, but it's still like, that's $3 off what I would normally do, but then you also can't miss a week. Right. It's like, fuck it.
Right. And that gets into the question, like, are you going to offer rollover? You know, like, stuff like that. And, because a lot of people would be okay with being like, oh, I didn't use all 30 days. Yeah. Most people would not be okay.
Maybe a bulk buy. You buy a punch card, it's got 30 on it, you go see 30 movies, and it's supposed to be you do it once, not day, but 52 movies, it's once a week, like, well, you have 52 chances left to see a movie. That's like a good, like, you see...
I like punch card.
52
that's
movies
good.
out of the year. Like, you can pick, you can choose. Maybe they do put a limitation of, like, not more than one a day. Like, you know, because obviously there are downtimes of movies and stuff. But I do think that it's an issue that's not going to be ever solidified and solved.
Yeah.
I don't think that one program is going to be the be-all, end-all of it. Because you have the major movie studios that are not going to want to give anything up because they're money hungry. Then you have each individual theater company that just is not going to want to do it. But then you also have, like, where we are, like art house cinema and stuff, to where it's like, can they even get those on board as well?
Art house loves it, though, because
it puts butts in seats.
Exactly. And there are people that may or may not be like, you know what, I've seen Ghostbusters like 50 times. And they're like, yeah, but MoviePass. And they're like, 51 times then, you know, and they're buying popcorn still.
And maybe they bump up some exclusivity for things, like a MoviePass only screening of this if you're in the area.
I like that. Kind of like Fathom Events.
Yeah.
You know? And then I like the idea of, like how I was saying before, like a loyalty program where, like, let's say AMC's like, hey, use your MoviePass here exclusively, and every time you actually use it, we'll give you, like, points towards, because AMC has the whole Stubs points, we'll give you points towards a free popcorn or something. Yeah. Like, just that loyalty of being like, okay, if we do have to accept the inevitability of MoviePass, we might as well get people to come to us exclusively with MoviePass. Exactly. You know? So I think it's in the best interest of the theaters to realize that MoviePass makes them probably more money.
That's where I think it is, though. There's a major disconnect because the people making the movies and stuff, they don't care about the theaters.
No.
They just care about how much money the movie makes.
Right.
Whereas movie theaters, they care about the movies in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But they also are going to go for the big hitters.
Right.
There's a movie theater not showing Infinity War right now. That movie theater is missing out on a lot of business.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also have movie theaters that are like, oh, we're showing this amazing, great film that people haven't heard of, but it's going to do really well during award season. But because it's not in a major theater, it's probably only going to be recognized closer to award season. You know, like Moonlight. Moonlight was here at the Frida, and then within the next year, it was already at the top of its game. So it's like, I don't remember seeing that in any like major theater until it was known.
Oh, I agree. I think I was having this conversation, and I'd like to thank Kayla, which is a partner for We're Not Afraid of the Dark podcast, who was on our show last month. I'd like to thank Adam and Ben for joining us for the Problem Child episode.
Oh, thank you so much. Such a good episode.
I know, so good.
I wasn't there for it, so I just slept, and I was happy.
What first came up. No, but thank you guys for actually coming on the show. If you guys have not, if listeners out there have not joined that, listening in on that episode, go ahead, pop on over after this to Problem Child, and then join me over there on their episode. 2 episodes, actually. The Tale of Old Man Corcoran, which is the latest one. That's out this week. And then 2 back was also the Tale of the Magician's Assistant. So if you're familiar with those 2 famous season 2 episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark, make sure you join me, which just like Shorties, they usually do half-an-hour episodes. Mine are hour-long episodes. So you get a lot of me, right? Kind of took over that show, too, in that moment. Sorry, guys. But they are very excited to come back on for Problem Child 2, so you get to take a break again, eventually. And they said they want to do 3, and I'm like, nobody wants to do 3. So
that was probably directed DVD with a different actor and people that didn't actually care and crappy effects.
I think so.
See?
So, speaking of that, just to wrap up the MoviePass thing, what I mentioned to Kayla in a conversation that we were having is she basically just asked me, like, what do you feel about MoviePass? Weren't you grandfathered in? Which I was. And I told people from the start, I told a lot of people, like, I told many good people, right? A lot of people.
It did seem like a program too good to be true, and we knew it was going to change. It's like MaxPass right now at Disney. $10 extra on your ticket, you get fast passes
go up
in an hour and a half compared to 2 hours, and you can like build on top of them, so you can't you can hold more than one if you are past that hour and a half from getting the last one.
Right.
But I thought it was going to go up a lot sooner, but they've had it for almost a year now, I think, and it's remained the same, and they haven't said anything, so who knows?
Well, I mean,
I don't know much about Disney. So.
I'm not a Disneyologist.
No, I'm not. I went to make an ologist joke on program yesterday, and I was talking about science. And I go, I don't know. I'm not a Scientologist. And I was like,
oh, wait, that's a real thing.
And they were like, my chaperones were like, what? And I told them, I was like, no, it's a funny joke among my friends. Like, whenever we don't understand something, we just say, like, the word and then add ologist to it.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's funny, but, like, Scientologist. And then one of my chaperones just goes, that seems like a quote for the book, so I'm going to write that one down and I'm going to put it somewhere. So I don't know, because it was like we were talking about something with science, and I was like, I don't know, I'm not a Scientologist.
Right.
And she was like, that was good.
So just to wrap it up, I think MoviePass is a great thing that I really do not know what. I don't think anybody really realizes what they have, right? And I don't think MoviePass even themselves knows how to make a sustainable business model past the initial hype, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think that it is good. You'd be surprised how much time you can you actually have for yourself. Like when you have one and you're like, I just got off of work. It's 9 p.m. at night. I'm not tired yet. Oh, things are still playing. Let's go.
I'm gonna go Pee Wee Herman this movie,
right? Yeah, I've seen shit that I would never see before.
Yeah,
right. I've seen comedies that I would normally probably skip and wait for DVD, and then forget that they're even on DVD.
Still never saw Amy Schumer's movie.
Oh, no, I didn't actually.
Thank God.
Skipped it. But I think it's an amazing opportunity for MoviePass themselves to reinvent the entire movie-going experience, and they just need to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
speaking of the movie, yeah.
I was
speaking
like, why
of
don't
the
we do
movie
a few trailers
going experience. Yeah. Here's our first movie for the month of May is actually something that never hit the theaters unless we're talking about Italy or Japan. I think there was 2 other countries that actually got a theatrical screening of this, but nobody else got a theatrical screening. This was first premiered on ABC in 1984 for the December season. Ladies and gentlemen, we really wanted to do something special for Star Wars Day, May the 4th. We wanted to do something, and then we're like, we asked a couple people, and they were like, oh, do Phantom Menace. And I'm like, no, because it's not, it doesn't fit the format. It just is what it is.
Well, the problem with those Star Wars movies is that, like, they're bad as Star Wars.
Right.
It's like
plus,
nerds
get over Jar Jar.
No,
like,
really, it's nerds being mad about the movie that they wanted and didn't get.
Oh, I mean, that's still happening. Yeah. Did you see Last Jedi? And then the reaction, like, people calm the fuck down.
How did that happen? Timelines.
He would never be. I wanted her to be Obi-Wan's daughter.
Why don't you just
why don't you become a filmmaker then?
Yeah. It's all taking place in space where literally anything can happen because they have magical powers, and stop being so upset. The whole thing is like, the Force, it's weird, it's crazy, we don't really know it. So if you're sitting there going, Leia, how did she float back into the spaceship like that? Well, Luke, how did Luke teleport his entire body? Blah, Rey and Kylo, how do they talk? Blah. Well, first off, the director did his research and he actually read things. Actual lore about Star Wars.
I love that
universe.
you've researched this, because you didn't even give it that much when it came to this film.
I know.
We still haven't announced.
But at the same time, like, it's space. It literally, like, anything can happen. I had a coworker.
I'm not sure that's the tagline for space.
It's space. In space, anything can happen when you scream.
Yeah, that's accurate.
I give up.
But you know what? That does fit the format. That should have been a tagline for this film. Okay, so a year after Return of the Jedi came out, we were treated to this made-for-television film starring the same actors that played the Ewoks as in Return of the Jedi, and written by George Lucas, and debuted on ABC, which wound up being a parent company, a child company of Disney.
It was done by Fox, but then Lucasfilms was acquired by Disney, and it appeared on ABC, which is the weirdest thing.
Right? Isn't that weird? So, if you haven't figured it out yet, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about one of the 2 made-for-television movies, 1984's Caravan of Courage, The Ewok Adventure. Roll trailer.
Far, far away.
You know, made for TV's initials are also MTV.
How are we gonna find them?
We will. Don't worry.
And fate leads
Was this movie given out with your Burger King Kids meal? Did it come with a toy?
Hold that thought.
Oh no, you had to get all 6 cups to receive the full DVD, and then you had to mail in your coupons.
Okay, how many trailers use this song? Like,
oh, that was the part when it was just like Lord of the Rings, like every other part.
Says the Hollywood Reporter.
They never said that.
No. Oh, there's the tree penis.
Deadly traps.
That's not really
traps.
That was close. You guys were great.
What?
God, I love claymation in live-action films.
Featuring incredible special effects.
Well,
The award-winning
I
team
thought you
of
said
industrial
incredible
light
special
and magic.
effects.
That's Mommy and Daddy.
That's Mommy and Daddy.
Sometimes when you search for the
Oh,
impossible,
sorry, those are your real parents. I meant to pull up your adoptive parents.
unbelievable adventure
We're adopted? Yeah, you can get adopted in space.
They just...
Just like you were.
spoiled the ending.
I know, they really did. That's why I don't watch movie trailers.
Now on video cassette.
The
from
Ewok Adventure.
MGM-UA Home Video.
Caravan of Courage, because we want to make you think about vans.
The all-new 1984 Dodge Caravan of Courage.
You told me to hold my thought on Burger King
Yes.
meals.
Okay, do you remember it wasn't Burger King, but it was McDonald's. McDonald's back in the 90s.
Too cheap to be McDonald's.
Yeah, but wait.
I know McDonald's.
Okay, do you remember they were giving out VHSs back in the 90s? Because I know that we acquired all 3 Indiana Jones this way in my house.
Oh.
Right? Back to the Future,
That's
Wayne's
why you
World.
love it so much. Wayne's World?
Yes.
Apparently I hate
Something
Wayne's
big,
World.
something mega, something kajunga.
Hey, Wayne, I think we should go now.
You are such a guard.
I am a guard. If you need to he's like,
that's what we're going to be for Halloween.
Oh, yes.
I'm down.
I'll get a batshit crazy wig.
right.
And I already have like a jean flannel thing that you always wear.
Yes, you do. You always wear that.
If you're going to spew into this. And he pulls a Dixie cup out of his pocket. Excuse me, I'd like to get by now.
God, what a good movie.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah.
On
Anyway,
to the next one.
But do you remember the VHSs at
Yeah.
McDonald's? They were giving them away. Well, they weren't giving them away. It wasn't Happy
It
Meal.
was like you had to earn it.
You had to buy like a Big Mac combo, and then for an
And the
extra like
six
$3.
exclusive glass cups.
Yes, I know the
Yeah.
Burger King that was Star Wars.
Yeah.
The Star Wars
See,
had
that's
the.
what I knew
had
Burger King.
those.
Burger King had all of the franchises I was into,
Okay.
but I hate their food.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
love their fries. What are we talking about?
Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to it. So our next.
I got as mad as a listener. We were like, what the what?
Tangents.
And they're like, you have 5 movies
Yeah.
this month. There's 5
Get to
weeks
it.
in May.
Yeah.
So we got to
Oops.
get through this.
Okay, so our next movie, if you don't know, our Sundays that we normally record,
Mm-hmm.
we on those Sundays we have sometimes holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And our holidays
Mhm.
occasionally celebrate parents because Hallmark loves to leech our pockets.
Right.
So we, of course, are doing a trauma classic.
Ooh.
The 1980s.
Well, it's actually it. Okay, there's more history to this.
Ooh.
Okay, it was acquired by Troma, right?
That's okay.
This is- this
we'll
is-
talk about it later.
Right. So, it was acquired by Troma, but it actually is directed by Lloyd Kaufman's brother, Charles Kaufman.
Is he single?
Uh,
Anytime someone talks about a brother, that's my first response.
That's
Are they
funny.
single? Yeah. Are they gay? No. Well,
So
fuck.
it was acquired by Charles Kaufman. I mean, not acquired. It was acquired by Troma once the production company that Charles Kaufman had went out of business. So Lloyd actually bought the rights to Mother's Day, and now it sits under the Troma label. Right, so he bought his brother's film. And interestingly enough, Charles asked Lloyd to be in the film, and he turned it down back in the day. So very
Okay.
interesting, right?
Well,
But
don't
Lloyd's
spoil it
mother and
all.
father are in the film too.
Oh.
Okay, and if you haven't figured it out, we had a choice between 3 different versions of the title, right? And like they're 3 different movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we went, well, we got to do Tromas.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's a holiday horror.
'Cause-
we love a holiday
Because
horror.
rom-coms don't do that well for us, we figured out. So we weren't doing
They're
the 2016 version of this.
Gives my little gay heart a flutter, but
It's not even a remake of that 2016. That's a rom-com. This is a horror, right? And we love our holiday horrors.
yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here it goes. For Mother's Day
Here it goes.
2018, it's Mother's Day 1980. Roll trailer.
There's a remake of Mother's Day
There is.
of this one.
Loosely.
Oh, Lucy? Who's she?
Somewhere in the woods of Deep
That was a
Barren,
joke,
a
sorry.
woman and her sons live in isolation. When they come out, it's
Permanent
for one
broken
reason
neck.
only.
Now let's see what you brought Mother.
Some say she
I-
spoiled her boys.
Thought that she was the
Some say she drove them mad. No
the smoker
one
from
found
Beetlejuice.
her Has lived to tell.
the one that slit her own throat.
Right, and
That's
now
why
has
she
to
works
cover
in
it
the
up.
apartment? Yeah. No, she doesn't. Oh, well, Beetlejuice came out after this.
Darlings, you have made your mother very
He's got
proud.
arms. I'm a little excited. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay,
Charles
let's turn the
Kaufman's
reverb down.
Mother's Day.
Oh, that's a perfectly good dinner table you just broke.
My boy.
Bye.
Jackie, Abby, and Trina have come to the wilderness.
Oh,
for a
side
weekend
boob,
of
side
fun.
boob.
Little do they know that out there something lies watching, waiting.
Jerking off in the bushes.
Someone's coming.
On the
They're
bushes.
getting closer.
Oh.
There's nowhere to run, no one to hear you scream.
Like space.
Yeah. So I actually did see this movie when I was 10. And there are a lot of these scares in this film that
When you
actually
know how to
aren't
celebrate,
like
every
legit
day is
from like the
Mother's
killers
Day.
and stuff. It's just people
From the
spoken.
darkest corner of the imagination
I can't
to
hear
the
you.
outermost
Okay.
reaches of
That's okay.
insanity and terror comes a celebration of mayhem.
Lady
Charles
Gaga, no.
Kaufman's Mother's Day.
Spoil the ending again.
100%
No
you spoiled
one
the
can escape
ending.
on Mother's
But also
Day
I thought that ending took
because
place in the
Mother's
daytime.
Day never ends.
Mother's Day does end. At
Like,
11:59
literally
p.m.
24 hours later, and you're good.
I know. Just get out.
Yep. So that is 1980's Mother's Day.
Okay.
And that film can actually be found on YouTube.
Yub-tub.
Yeah, on YubTub. It can be found on YouTube right now for free from Trauma Movies. So if you go to Trauma's YouTube, you can watch Mother's Day right now, and you can be in on all the jokes. Fair warning, there is a rape scene. So, yeah.
Multiple.
No. Like every other time, it's like
None
he's
is, like,
getting ready and he
full-
doesn't get
yeah.
a chance.
No, it goes in real close. I saw this when I was 10, and that's a big problem.
Yeah.
But it's okay, I guess.
Yeah, this is definitely a rape revenge horror film.
Yeah, which
It's-
is very surprising that is a type of film.
It is like it started like
I mean, I
back in the day
support
with
it.
Grindhouse and I Spit on Your
Yeah.
Grave and things like that. And now there's a new one, a brand new one called Revenge, about like a girl in a desert, and it's the same kind of
A
thing.
what?
A girl in a desert.
Okay.
Yeah.
Articulation.
Shut up.
A desert.
Shut up, Jarrett.
I love the desert.
Yeah.
That's why
People got
people
it.
say Jared, because
I
they
know,
think
right?
T's equal D's. T's aren't D's.
Right. So that will be out on the second week of May, April 8th. Be sure to, I would say anytime there's a free version of something that we're giving out, like go watch it.
Check
like,
it.
Yeah, check it out. Like, so.
Be a part of the magic.
I know, right? That's something, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the last Shorties or not. I think I did, but the whole, like, our friend, Katie actually was like, oh, I listened to your Class of Nukem High, and then I got inspired to actually I was up late last night and I watched Nukem High. And it's the same situation where it's like, well, here you go. Here's another one. Like, go watch it, you know? So there's that one, you know? So the next one is kind of insane.
It's a wrestler.
It's okay. So it's not the first wrestling movie that we've ever done, but it's the first wrestling movie we actually released.
There are hidden episodes.
Our lost episode of Suburban Commando.
It's our only lost episode so far. So
I
that's
know,
pretty
right?
good.
No, isn't there? There is a lost second version of White Chicks.
Yes. So if you sounded like, or if it sounded like that we hated going through White Chicks, it's probably because that's actually technically our third time going through White Chicks, because there are a lot of problems. Our bad.
Yeah, right. And it had nothing to do with racial undertones. It had everything to do with undertones altogether. Couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
So
No tones.
Yeah, no tones at all, really. But moving on to our third week in May, we were joined by director Jake Lloyd. No, not Jake Lloyd from Phantom Menace. Director Jake Lloyd. He's got a brand new film coming out that he'll tell you all about on this episode of No. I almost gave it away.
On this episode of Bounds Away Podcast, featuring the movie.
Yeah. No Holds Barred from 1989, starring Hulk Hogan.
Roll trailer. Stole your line. So proud of myself. Ow!
Hey, Are you looking for a little escape?
Oh, it's got gravelly voice announcer.
Want to see something
This is sick!
you don't see every day?
Then don't see this.
For
Yeah.
a whole new
How many
Hulk
teeth were lost in this film? Because a lot of people have very bad teeth.
No, I think they were not there from the beginning.
Yeah.
To the world, he's a hero. But to this man, he's history.
Yeah, punch a cinder block. That'll help you learn. Not how that explodes.
Way back. Get ready for the battle no ropes can hold. No ring. No referee. No rules.
Gentlemen, it's time.
No holds barred.
This is an unprecedented display of strength and determination.
Oh, Richard Glover.
Oh, is that Donald Glover's brother?
No, I don't think so.
So that is No Holds Barred from 1989, Hulk Hogan movie where he plays not himself, but a version of himself called Rip.
Yeah.
And I actually was able to look into it. We might release some Rip'em shirts and some Zeus shirts. Yeah,
Okay.
because I found the logos, and they're fairly easy to reproduce, and I don't think anybody gives a shit, because WWF and now E disowned this film.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares.
That's fair.
So I actually I might be making 3 different shirts. Like, I cannot confirm it as of now. I'm working with TeePublic to get this done, but I might... For anybody who's actually a wrestling fan or a fan of this movie, we actually might have Rip'em tees.
Those exist?
I know, right? Yeah, well, it's just Jake Lloyd.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Zeus, the Z for Zeus, and then a Battle of the Tough Guys logo, maybe, that I'm taking literally from a screenshot of the film, of the neon of Battle of the Tough Guys. Yeah, no, there's an entire, like, neon sign says Battle of the Tough Guys for, like, the bar scene.
Oh, God.
And I'm literally taking it and recreating it. So, there's 3 unnecessary t-shirts for No Holds Barred coming up. So
what's next?
We have 2 more, right? No Holds Barred, by the way, will be on the 15th of May.
God, long month.
Coming up on the 4th week of May, 4 of 5 here, on May 22nd, we are starting to have a new group of people come into the Frida. There's 2 different. There's a horror convention that's coming in October, but then
the lizard people.
Yes. Right.
Coming in Liz Timber, which that's the month they named it, so we're respecting them.
Yeah. 13 months is going to be weird.
Yeah.
Liz Timber.
It just seems so like it just seems scaled. I don't know.
Jesus. So we are also...
That was a piss poor joke. Sorry, I hate myself.
I know, I'm lost. I'm good. We also have another group coming in. They did... We actually happened to attend the April Fool's Day screening that they put on. And we were like, oh, we're gonna come back for this and that. Like, let's kind of team up, right? So I cannot confirm that he will or will not be a guest on the show, but the creator of HorrorBuzz.com is putting on screenings here at the Frida Cinema. He did April Fool's Day, and then he's doing Troll 2. Actually, if you're listening to this, Troll 2 comes this Monday. Okay, if you're listening to this the day it comes out, Troll 2 comes out tomorrow, Monday. Okay, the 30th, Monday the 30th of April, Troll 2, and then after that, he'll be doing screenings of Carrie on the last week in May 28th, which is actually Memorial Day. So he's going to be doing Carrie on Memorial Day. Now, we said to ourselves, well, we can't do Carrie, right? Like, it's just not... you can't do Carrie, right?
Yeah. I mean, even the remake was good.
Yes, it actually
Like,
was.
with,
It was decent. The girl.
Odd name. You know, we love her, but weird name.
I almost said Mince Platts, and that's McLovin. I'm just thinking of people with 3 names, you know. But we started racking our brains. We were like, what can we do? Like, I have something planned for June that has to do.
Once again, I
What?
had a horror movie that I saw inappropriately young.
You had an epic epiphany about what we could do.
Also,
that's directly
Freddy
related.
vs. Jason is another one that I saw way too young.
Okay.
That we need to do. 'Cause
Okay.
there's a Freddy turns into a weed centipede.
Yeah, that's right.
So
he turns into a caterpillar like
No,
it's
I
Alice
saw
in
this
Wonderland.
one when it came out on VHS at that time, or
Okay.
DVD. It might have been DVD at that time, but I definitely saw this one like at home. And
Okay.
this came out in 1999, so at most I was 10 when it came out.
Mhm.
Jeez. Whoops.
So, if you haven't figured it out, what we're talking about is the sequel to Carrie.
Carry On My Wayward Son. Carrie 2. The Rage Carrie 2 is the real title.
Roll
Sorry for
trailer.
my nose breathing in that mic. It's like
Roll trailer.
Romeo
I'm
and
real rich
Juliet.
today.
A
Oh.
tale of star-crossed lovers, pulled apart by their families, by society.
I hate
and
when
some
movies
might
do
say
like a Romeo and Juliet, like, we're
Now,
talking
why
about
is it that we
him.
are so moved by love
remember
that ends
this.
with separation?
I don't know that I believe in it.
Believe in what?
Love? Who would love her?
Jesus.
It's all for you, Damien. Back in high school, she killed herself.
Carrie
It's okay.
too. Carrie.
Eye flash. This is. I'm gonna say my word. This is violently
All
90s.
your life,
Oh,
No bra, super
you were
nipping.
different.
Must be nice not having to be like everybody else.
I hate that
I really
guy.
wish I could just be one of the shiny, happy people, you know?
Shiny, happy.
but I'm not
people.
because emo's in right now.
The others don't understand you.
At least be seen with someone cool, someone who counts.
Maybe somebody needs to teach the two of them a little lesson.
And they
Rachel?
All I remember from this movie is that like the guy that I thought was the hottest got his balls shot off. So I was pretty bummed.
If you want to talk out your feelings.
well,
She threw the coffee
to
on
hell
herself.
with them.
So you want to know how I'm feeling today?
When Rachel was growing up, did you ever see objects move
I don't
by
like
themselves?
lockers open.
What
Yeah.
is wrong with this picture?
The
You've heard of
30-second
Perry
bell
White,
rang.
haven't you?
Close your locker.
73 people died night of the prom.
Next semester,
God, Carrie fucking lets loose in this party scene. It's insane.
in the family,
There's a fucking fire poker.
Rage,
There's
Carrie too.
CDs.
No.
What a beautiful home.
Hey, it's Shipbreak. So that's the Rage Carrie 2. No, you're absolutely right. She lets loose like Wishmaster let loose at his party.
Just like she obliterates anything she can. She's like, "Oh, you're all here." Like in Carrie, she's at least like, "I'm gonna make fire and like throw some
Right.
things, and everyone's gonna panic." But in Carrie 2, she's like,
She gets
"All right,
creative.
my CD tower over here to the left is gonna kill about 30% of you
Right.
by just shooting CDs
I'm gonna
out."
pull the coaxial cable out of the wall and then strangle you with it, and
It's-
then I'll go, should have gotten the primetime package.
But to be super dramatic, I'm gonna make barbed wire tattoos go all over my body.
I know,
Like,
right?
oh, that was so 90s. My choker turned into my tattoo.
Well, even the setup, even the beginning, like that's such a thing. Like, let's have a teacher talk about something that's going to correlate throughout
Yeah.
the film, right?
You shouldn't
like,
love
it's like
her.
Scream 2, like sequels. Let's talk about
Yeah.
sequels. All
Except
right.
Scream 2 knew that they were doing that.
No,
I
you're
loved
right.
it.
But like everything
Don't talk
tried
shit about Scream 2.
because
I love
everything
Scream
tried
2.
to fucking copy it.
Yeah.
Like everything 90s was like, let's copy Scream in every single way
Yeah.
possible. Let's have classroom discussions that are going to be foreshadowing.
Scream 2 was
Let's-
98?
Yes. You're right.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, no, because it followed. It wasn't even a full year between
Yeah.
sequels for Scream.
I thought
Yeah.
Scream was 96.
Seven.
Was it 97? Now I got to do research.
Shit.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right.
What's our last one?
Okay, so our friend Trevor, who was on the Van Helsing episode, him and Ian, Trevor has just recently been on a podcast called The Waffle Press.
Scream 1 was 96. Scream 2 was 97.
Okay.
So we were a year off.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Okay.
Same thing.
Right.
It was like within a year of each
We
other.
moved
like,
on.
really quick. Yeah. I just wanted to. I didn't want to be wrong.
Yeah. No, I understand. Because people will call us on this shit.
But Trevor was on
He was on a podcast called The Waffle Press.
Waffle Press. Okay.
And Trevor dropped our name. He name dropped and was like, you guys should go check out Bombs Away. And so the Waffle Press was kind enough to reach out to us and say, hey, we'd like to do an episode. And I said, well, hell yeah, let's collaborate. So we locked down a movie. I said, you guys, here's the database. I actually gave them the database.
Oh, wow.
And said, go crazy. As long as it's something we haven't reserved for a live show, go for it. And they came back with this gem. Now, I know that this will now historically be for the show the oldest film we've ever done. Okay.
1968.
Yes, 1968. The oldest film before this was 1975's Dolomite.
Oh God.
Right? So this will be another history maker, and we're going to have a guest to go along with it. I've never seen this film. I know that it is majorly a classic, like in cult classic status.
Okay.
So with that being said, here is 1968's Barbarella.
Barbarella.
It's probably the theme.
Ooh.
Roll
well,
trailer.
the real song's Barbara Ann. Coming from Paramount. That was ugly.
Meet the most beautiful creature of the future.
She doesn't know what the ground is.
Her name is Barbarella, and she makes science fiction something else. Jane Fonda is Barbarella. Barbarella is a 5-star, double-rated astronavigatrix Earth girl whose
With
specialty
boobs.
is...
Love.
Shall I tell you what I would like?
I think I know.
Her top
Do ya?
secret mission is a real wing dinger.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. I've never heard about this, but my gay heart's in love.
God, this is flash bad.
Good many dramatic situations begin with screaming.
Sweeta Sonia! Sweeta Sonia!
Could you hand me a garment?
Did she just get hit with cake?
This is an acid trip, and I'm okay.
With a nice angel.
Oh, he's fine. Oh.
With the warm...
Oh, he is
He
hairy.
took off fur to have
I
more
know.
fur underneath.
Evil Black Queen.
Oh, don't call her that.
Is she around giant packaging pillows?
Oh. Are they supposed to be good looking?
We wish to thank the following planets for making this picture possible: Lython, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Earth, and many special guest stars. What a weird trailer.
Guest stars, huh?
In the wild,
That's a weird
excessive machine.
masturbation
Nice,
machine.
isn't it?
Oh, she's gonna...
In the biting birdcage. In the chamber of dreams. In the labyrinth of love.
That's a lot of things to go through in one movie.
In the palace of pleasure.
Oh, Palace of Pleasure.
I don't know what's
So
happening.
much so. Was this thing Dildano?
You find
I don't know.
adventure beyond your imagination when you get lost in space with Barbarella.
Barbarella, ba ba Barbarella, ba ba
Ba
Barbarella,
ba 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 Barbarella.
Right? And he's like, Paparazzi. I bet that's the opening credit sequence right there.
More than likely. It also looks like a James Bond opening credit sequence.
Suggested for mature audiences.
I have a feeling we're going to have a blast with
I love that. I'm already excited.
Right? So that is for the last week, which is May 29th, the last week, and the last 3 days in May. That's how we're going to end the week of May. And then coming up after that, there's a couple other screenings that are happening in LA. The New Art is going to be doing prom night in June. So I decided prom night's pretty much a classic, but it's also like really cheesy with Jamie Lee Curtis. So we're going to be doing that in the future to coincide with that screening up at the New Art. And stay tuned, because in July there is a Friday the 13th, and I think we're going to finally start the series.
Oh.
Right? Well, okay, here's the struggle part, and anybody who's still listening, I'd love for somebody to write in with this opinion. Do not text me. Write it somewhere in the forum, somewhere on a Facebook, something, right? But I need some feedback here. Is it okay, right? Because I have this thing where I'm like, I need to show Jarrett, even if he's seen it before. I just say show Jarrett. I need to show Jarrett the first of anything before we move on to its sequels. And I feel like from a listener standpoint, I like to introduce you guys to like the first and just go for it. So then I can refer back to things that we did prior, right? So Friday the 13th original is a classic. But is it a cult classic deserving of us to rip on?
I don't know.
That's something that I want you guys to answer out there. Oh. Okay? I know going from like 2 forward, there are things to make fun of, especially when we get to 5 and on, right? But is the classic, killer mommy, killer, and all that stuff, is that worthy of something to be made fun of? Is Kevin Bacon something we can make fun of? Like, is it okay? Right? That's something I want to know. Because I need to start getting into the Friday the 13th series as the show progresses, and I know that I want to do part 5, and I definitely know I want to do Jason Takes Manhattan, and I definitely know that Jason Goes to Hell is a piece of shit. But what about the original? Can we start with the original, or should we just jump to right where we should be? You know?
I don't know.
Right. I want them to answer.
Great question. So why don't they answer?
Right. So that just about does it for us here at Bombs Away. Jared, do you have anything that you've seen that you can recommend real quick?
Let's do lightning round because we're almost at
Right.
Okay. There's an interesting. I was telling Jonathan about this. An interesting juxtaposition between the movie Happy Death Day, which came out last year, which had a lot more publicity, and then there's a movie that was titled Before I Fall. And they're both kind of living that last day over and over again, but they have to repeat that last day. Either if they die or they survive, they still have to repeat that day, no matter what happens. And so it's an interesting, similar take, but a different take. So I do suggest you take it out or check it out. I've been watching Wild Wild Country on Netflix, which is a really great cult documentary. And because this cult was formed in the 70s and 80s, they have video footage of everything. Ooh. So it's all like 100% majority. I wouldn't say 100% of the movie, but the majority of these 8 episodes are all documentary of the actual cult doing crazy batshit things. And It's really good because I've gone through the series and I've been like, oh, cool, I would join this cult. Then I've been like, what? That person's batshit crazy. This is bad. And then like that, like it's just stuff happens and I'm like, oh, now I get that person. So like I have 3 episodes left, and like my feelings about the people, the cult, like what I'm watching has changed 3 to 4 times, like immensely, and it's really good. I watched Colossal. That one was okay.
Oh, yeah,
that was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was good. It was a nice story that like I don't think we've ever seen before. So like originality is like 10 out of 10. But the execution, I think they just wanted names.
That was Anne Hathaway.
And
basically she was like controlling a god, like as a
she
shadow
was controlling
in a way,
like a Japanese monster.
Right. Okay.
And so it's Anne Hathaway and
Is it Ed Helms or is it?
No, it's not Ed
the
Helms.
other one.
The other one,
right? Olivia Wilde's husband from
something
Saturday Night
with a J.
Live.
Jason Sudeikis.
Sudeikis,
yeah.
yes.
I met him in real life, and he was kind of a dick.
Aww.
We
really
were
like him.
We were at a Second City show in Chicago. They were picking out new cast members, which one of the girls from that show actually went on to be on SNL. So I saw her at there.
Okay.
And that could have been when she was picked to at least audition. But we were like, oh, sorry, like we didn't want to like bring it up during the show, but like, could we just get a photo with you? And he's like, can you at least wait till everyone leaves? And we were like, everyone's majority out, but yeah. And then whenever we were like, well, can we get a photo?
So now you're awkwardly like when
we're
everybody
just
else
waiting
is
around,
leaving.
like, and then he was like, all right, where do you want me? Like for the photo, and we were like,
really?
We were like, ugh. And since then, I just never interact with famous people because I'm like, yeah, they kind of don't want to be like seen, and like they're just there doing a job, but at the same time, it's like if
Maybe
you go
you
in
should have,
public
like,
and you're a public figure. Think about that.
Maybe you should have figuratively like stroked him a bit first.
Yeah.
You know, be like, I love your work.
I'm sure we did.
I love Horrible Bosses too, even though nobody did.
For college students.
Yeah.
What would you expect?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I've been
I
watching.
loved Hall Pass. Nobody else did. It's cool.
Right.
Okay, so for me, I'll go into my shows real quick. Westworld's back. Oh, and it's better than ever. So if
I've heard
you're
it's
a fan,
little bit racist, but they know
it's always racist. It's Westworld.
Well, now they're doing Shogun World as part of the second season, right?
I mean,
it's brought up.
It's referenced that there are other parks. Spoiler alert. Sorry, it's referenced that there are other parks, and that they're on lockdown right now. So and it was just a throwaway line, basically,
maybe
being
I
like,
read a spoiler.
"Hey, huh?"
Maybe I read a spoiler.
Right. So, but like from the last episode of last season, like they stumbled upon a room where there was people in samurai costume, like a host that were
one of the other big worlds, Shogun World.
Right. So, but a lot of people thought that they were like, oh, they're planning for more things. It's like, no, actually, there's a huge, bigger world outside of Westworld, and we're just not seeing it, at least for now. So, way cool. A lot of violence. Really excited. And then the lead character, I'm sorry, like, I don't know what it is. Maybe because she's on a murderous rampage.
That lady,
she's
the
gorgeous.
pretty blonde one?
Yeah,
she's real
God,
good. I've seen like I think the first episode with her dad, but then her original dad gets taken out of the equation.
That first episode's such a amazing setup to everything. Yeah. And I will say, as being somebody who works in a theme park, like I want to know everything about this park. Like I want to know ticket pricing. I want to know like is there park hoppers?
That's technically the original. Air quotes around the word Jurassic Park.
Correct,
the original.
It was written and directed. The 73
Crichton.
movie was written and directed by Michael Crichton.
Yeah,
and then he was
basically
like, "What if I change host to dinosaurs?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was it. But wow, it's great. I recommend it. Anybody who hasn't leaped on yet to Westworld, go ahead, start watching it. Like it ain't no Game of Thrones, and that's a good thing. Like I think it's well intricately
Do they
built.
have normal human names?
Yes.
Okay, then I can follow along. I don't want to be like Garspathian of the Porton family, and I'm like, I don't know who that is because I don't even just call him Nick. Like I started watching Game of Thrones and they're like, this guy's name is Ned, and I was like, cool, I'll remember Ned forever.
Right. No,
but
and then Ned dies like immediately,
and I was like, oh cool, so now I'll never know a character ever again.
God damn it! Now I gotta be with Dragon.
Yeah, Daenerys Targaryen, just because she's popular. That's the only reason people know her name.
I know. I have no idea what you're talking about. Honestly, I watched the first 3, and there was like sister fucking, and I was done. Like.
You told me you were into that, though.
No. Oh, sister fucking?
Yeah, you took her virginity.
Oh, no, I only watched that porn.
Oh. I was like, you did it with your sister.
And I'm only watching that porn because, like, we've run out of other stuff that my favorite stars are in.
I've run out of porn.
Yeah. No, I'm not recommending we watch porn. Fear the Walking Dead, 4 seasons in, actually just got good. So if you're ready to, like, actually jump in,
I watched the first season, never continued on. It
sucked, right? But if you just want to jump in and be like, here's people, like, and forget what happened for the last 3 seasons and just jump in now, you could.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter. It's actually got interesting. Like, there's a gunfighter. There's Morgan from original Walking Dead that jumped over. He traveled across the country, and he's there now. Like
teleportation.
Yeah. So actually, surprisingly got interesting, and I'm curious to see where it goes. Movie-wise, watch A Quiet Place. Watch it
I
now.
gotta see it. Yeah.
Before it leaves theaters. It was amazing. No spoilers here. I'm just telling you, it is designed to be in surround sound. You need to watch it. Please go see it before it leaves theaters. 10 out of 10. John Krasinski is an amazing actor and way out. You know, this is outside of The Office in every single way, and he's killing it.
Oh, I watched I, Tonya. It was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It was.
See,
it was
that's how I
good.
felt too. It's good,
Yeah.
but did it ever
the
hit
actors
the
did amazing, but
Right.
it wasn't like
Did it ever hit the emotional comedic highs of the trailer? No.
no.
The trailer oversold it.
But I think that's also the thing about it is it was very much it was like technically just it's a documentary but with actors playing
It's a biopic.
the people. Yeah, it
Not a
was
documentary. It's
yeah,
a biopic.
it's a biopic.
Yeah.
And like there are funny parts, but at the same time it's like it's actually kind of serious and it's like parental abuse and like addiction to
it's
thing.
It's
rather
parental
than, like, a
abuse,
drug or-
media
yeah.
abuse. It's everything
Yeah.
abuse to this one woman. It made
It's
me feel
manipulation.
sorry.
Yeah,
Right. So, just to wrap it up, other things that I saw. I saw Isle of Dogs last night, and I'm not a big Wes Anderson fan,
I've
and
heard
this
it's good.
was really
Yeah.
good. I loved it. It made me feel for dogs,
The
like
only
in
part
a whole
of the
new
trailer
way.
I've seen is now is not the time to lick your wounds, and then there's a dog
yeah.
that's licking himself, and he stops and he's like, "Whoo."
There's so many
like,
good
yes.
parts of this, right? And it's not violently Wes, you know? And people are like, oh, watch Fantastic Mr. Fox, and it's the same thing. And I'm like, are you saying that because it's just the animation, or
Yeah.
is it really? So I'm curious. I loved it, 9 out of 10. Super Troopers 2, do not go see this piece of shit.
I mean, it's a sequel to a movie that's over 10 years old. What did you expect?
I know, Zoolander 2, Anchorman 2.
Exactly.
But, no, I expected more from the guys. Like that, basically, it's the same team, and it was Broken Lizard, and they did. I thought they did really good with Club Dread, and I thought they did a decent job with Beer Fest. And all they had to do was make a movie. So, if somebody said, "Pitch to me in 10 seconds what Super Troopers the original is," tell me what you think.
Cops being idiots and dicks.
Okay, right? Cops playing pranks on themselves and civilians, right? Take that and throw that out the window and only make that about 5 minutes of the movie, right?
See, this is my thing with like comedies that like try to do the revamp comedy, like you said, Anchorman 2, Super Troopers 2, and then Zoolander 2. Do you think that their problem is that they tried to make that comedy evolve and be with the times, or do you think they tried to go with the original comedy? Because I think both can be.
I think they
both
try
can mess you up.
Okay.
Both can be your tripping point.
Because all three fall into the category of being like, we need to do the same things but different.
Yeah.
Right?
But see, do they do it different for today's standards, or do they do it different as a
I can't-
callback to the original?
I can't
See,
I
isn't
can't
that
answer
that's
that
always
question,
the most obnoxious thing,
right?
because you're like, yeah, they're like going with today's jokes, but like it's not funny.
Right.
Now it's not funny. Like
But-
the comedy style isn't funny now.
Each one suffers for a different reason. Like Super Troopers 2 suffers because they basically go to Canada and like all the jokes are revolved around Canada, and you're just like,
Canada's an easy target.
Yeah, it's an easy target, but also it's also not that easy to joke on them if you're not from there.
Yeah.
Right? And this movie's for Americans, funded by Americans. We funded it from a Kickstarter.
Was there a fake beaver in the movie?
No, there was a bear.
I'm very surprised. Was it obviously fake bear?
No, it was a real bear on screen.
I imagine like
so
a
not
fake
the fake
beaver,
bear from the
yeah.
first one that he fucks, which is weird. You'd be like, okay, you're going back to the bear thing,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, that's not
No.
exactly what's happening. So basically, the whole plot is the same thing, and I don't care if I'm spoiling it. Like, it doesn't matter. I gave it a 5 out of 10 just to be generous. Because basically, and I just saw an interview or heard an interview on the Shockwaves podcast where they interviewed. I want to interview him so bad. Joe Bob Briggs. I've talked about him on the show many times, but they just interviewed him at the Chattanooga Festival, and he said the biggest crime that a film can be is not to be bad, but to be boring.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely right.
Exactly.
And this film is that.
Bad films get you talking. Good films get you talking. Boring films, You don't even want to talk.
Right? That's why we didn't do the Mummy, guys.
Yeah.
So that's everything I've seen. Oh, I did see Society. Holy shit. 1989 Society. I saw that last night. What a crazy fucking insane fest. We're going to have to do it on the... I think we might have to do it live.
Okay.
All I can say is, have you ever seen that like GIF or that meme going around of like there's like a guy's face is in a butthole?
Nope.
It's like a head inside of a butthole that like there's like legs that are bent over, right?
No, I've never seen it, but
Okay.
I'll look for it.
Right.
It sounds like a great
That's where this is
Saturday night.
from. Like if you've ever seen that GIF or that meme or something like that, it's finally I saw the film that it's from, and holy shit, it was insane. So wait for us to do it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I have not seen Infinity War yet. I'm gonna see it tomorrow.
I won't for a year.
I know, right? So if you were expecting Infinity War review, I'm sure it was 10 out of 10, whatever. I'm sure everybody's saying one-word responses to me right now are just like, all I can say is wow. So I'm like, okay, great.
I just love on IMDb it says, Tom Holland, no small parts, IMDb exclusives. So it's like, so Spider-Man doesn't have a big part in that movie. Great, thank you. Cool.
Oh, they'll label no small parts for anybody now just to get content.
Yeah. No small parts. We heard he had a tiny dick, but he's actually the main star of that film.
Right.
Like.
So, that just about does it for us. I'm
Jonathan.
No. Follow us, rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Follow us, Bombs Away, at Bombs Away Show. On Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Contact at bombsawayshow.com if you want to write us a personal email and let us know about anything we talked about today. Sorry, Shorties is becoming not short.
Well, we got to start calling them longies.
Longies? That's what you like.
Yeah. No, I like girthies.
Oh, girthies! Yeah.
Hey, you do it to get opened up.
Oh, God. That's a bit much. That's a bit much.
I'm hoping for a bit much.
Yikes. All right.
I'm Jarrett.
I'm just signing off. Goodbye. I'm Jonathan. Thanks for listening, guys. Thank you. Seriously. God, kid, turn it off. Turn it off!